Good morning, students. Chapter 5 Money Macroeconomics. So today we are going to discuss money. Money is something which is used for our daily exchanges. We buy different commodities with the help of money. So before money, we had a commodity system, also known as barter system. What is the system in which people used to exchange the commodities? They used to exchange good with goods. And there was a problem in the system, that was double coincidence of bonds. What was this problem? If I, as an individual, I want to buy wheat, okay? So I need to find a person who has wheat. Also, I need to see if he is ready to exchange wheat with the commodity that I have. Okay, if I have rice, the person should need rice also, and he should also has a wheat, so that only our exchange is possible. This is known as double coincidence of want. What mutually wants of the two person needs to match each other. What I want he should have, what he wants I should have. So this actually is very difficult and complicated, because it is difficult to find a person like this, and it is time consuming also. As the society is developing, it is becoming more complex. This has become all the more difficult. So limitations are, first limitation we discussed is double coincidence of want. Second is lack of common measure of value. It means that even if we exchange the commodities, how we will decide in what quantity we will exchange. Okay, we don't have any measure of value to decide that when we are doing the transaction in barter system. Next is lack of standard of deferred payment. It means that we are unable to do future payments or transactions in future, because the money is not here, we have commodities. So I cannot right now decide about the quantity of rice that I will be ready to exchange after 6 months. I don't know whether the rice will be of the same quality at the time. So this arise so many conflicts in the issue, and at times the exchange become impossible to take place when it is the commodity system. Lack of store of value is also very important. When there is no money, the wealth has to be stored in the form of grains, in the form of animals. So we need a lot of efforts to store the wealth in these particular ways. So lack of store of value. Now, what is the definition of money? We come towards it. Money is which is generally accepted as a medium of exchange, measure of value, store of value, and means of deferred payment. So, money can be coins, currency, and checks. It is a legal tender by the government, and government, according to the government, people has to do the exchanges in the form of money. We are liable to do that. If one is not doing it, it is a legal offense, because money is a legal tender. Coins, currency, notes are legal tender. Next topic is money supply. Money supply is the total money which is held by the people at a point of time. So actually it is the money in circulation, you can say. Okay, the money in the circulation. So what are the features of money supply? It is the money with the people. Here the public is individual and businesses. It is not actually including government and banking system, because they are the money creators. and the actual circulation which carries on within the economy is with the general public. Money is a stock concept. Money supply is a stock concept because we are talking about the money at a particular point of time that people are having in circulation. Next is, what are the measures? There are some measures. RBI was using only narrow measures, but from 77 forward there are four measures of money supply: M1, M2, M3, M4. The formula is important to understand. M1 is currency and coins with the people, demand deposits with the commercial banks, and other deposits with the RBI. Demand deposits are the people money only, so that is also a part of the circulation, money in circulation. So M1 includes all these things. So what else is given? Coins and currency. These are the paper notes and coins which are with the people. We know the coins and the notes. Now money is a fiat money. Fiat money is the money which is by the order, legal tender. It is a legal tender. It is by the order of the government under law. Money is fiat money. Legal tender money, it is legally, it can be legally used to make payment. It is legal to use money in the form of making payments. So it is a legal tender. Demand deposits of commercial banks. What are these deposits? These are the deposits which can be taken out by the depositors using check or ATMs. They can withdraw the money and use for doing different payments. What are the other deposits with RBI? The deposits on behalf of the foreign banks, governments, and public institutions, public financial institution, World Bank, IMF. Okay, these are all the deposits with these institutions. Now this is also important to understand what is high powered money. We know what is money: reserves with bank and money with the public. And what is high powered money? It is currency and cash reserve with bank. Currency with the people, and the only difference, the currency with the people also included in the money. Okay, but in high powered money it also includes the cash reserves with the bank. So it is, as compared to money, high powered money is different because cash reserves are also included in this. What are the cash reserves, students? Cash reserves, actually these are the minimum percentage of the deposits that are to be kept with the by the commercial banks with the central banks. These are known as the cash reserves, which they keep with the RBI. So this is high powered money. Next is, what is M2? M2 is also one of the type of money supply. And what does it include? It includes M1. So it include all the components of M1. M1 में क्या क्या था बेटा? Currency, coins, and demand deposits of commercial bank, other deposits with RBI. So this is including. Along with that, we include saving deposits with the post office saving bank. Third is M3. M3 is M1, all the components of M1, that is coins, currency includes paper notes, and then demand deposits with the banks and other deposits with RBI. Along with that, in M3 we include net time deposit with the banks. What are the net time deposits with the bank? These are the, we have already taken demand deposits. What are time deposits? Time deposits are the fixed deposits, the fixed deposits with the bank. Next is M4. M4, it includes M3, all the components till now, and then total deposits with the post office saving bank, that is NSC, National Saving Certificate. what are the important features which are there in case of the money supply, measures of money supply. We got to know there are four measures: M1, M2, M3, M4. M1 is the most liquid. Most liquid means which can be easily spent, and least liquid is M4. Like cash money in the hand of a person is the most liquid asset. If he has a house, his money is also there in the house, it's asset, but that is not in liquid form. He cannot spend it anyhow. उसको हाउस सेल करना पड़ेगा. जब वो पैसे आएंगे then he can spend the money. So it is least liquid. So M1 is most liquid, M4 is least liquid. M3 is the widely used measure. It is known as the aggregate monetary resources of the society. M1, M2 are known as narrow money concepts. M3, M4 are known as broad money concepts. Next is calculation part. The different particulars are given. So M1, we will include currency with public, demand deposit, other deposits. M2, we will include saving deposits and other deposits. M3, we will along with that include net time deposit with banks. M4, we will include M3 plus total deposits with post office. If they ask you in this format, you should be able to answer it. For today, this is your money chapter. Now we will continue the other important topics of the chapter in the next class. Thank you, students.